Hi, this is Angela Alexander, Brown Angel Books and Coaching. I hope all is well with you today. I am literally just leaving the car wash. And if you followed my post for any amount of time, you know about this anxiety thing that comes over me when I am about to go into the car wash. I started chuckling because, you've probably seen the Will Smith, Tatiana Ali thing talking about their anxiety and all of this thing, and they're dancing about it, but I hate it. I hate it because it slows me down, right? But I got a little principle today, and that principle is one that I wanted to share. So, as I am approaching the entrance, excuse me, I'm looking at the car in front of me, and I'm trying to make sure that my car is at, straight, is at the 9 and 3 position, and as far as I can see from my vantage point, I've got it, and everything should be great. But the fella is pointing, right? He's pointing because he can see what I can't. I'm going somewhere with the story. Okay, so he can see what I can't. And so he keeps pointing, and he won't let me go until I've done what he wanted me to do, which was to put my wheel, I guess my steering wheel would be, 10 and 2 or something like that, right? Or whatever it is, just turned. But it was turned in a way to me that just did not feel natural, right? And so I could not move forward until I followed the instruction. And once I followed the instruction, then he pointed to the little sign that says to go from stop to neutral. So now I'm in neutral, and the car is now on the conveyor belt, and it's going forward. And, the water's starting to do what it does, right? And it's interesting because when you're in a neutral position, your emotions are out of it. You're doing what you're supposed to do, right? Regardless of how you feel. And at that particular point, my instinct was to turn the wheel straight, turn the steering wheel straight. But if I would have done that, that could have caused a problem. You understand? And so there are times when we get instructions from the Lord, and regardless of what our emotions might be telling us, regardless of how we might feel from our vantage point, this is a reminder that he can see what you cannot, right? And so moving forward, and even with me, with that anxiety that seems to come over me every time. And I prayed before I entered, right? But I still felt what I felt, the heart racing, and as I'm looking at the rollers coming forward, and just that, whew. And the reason that feeling comes, just in case you've never heard me talk about this before, is, I don't know, 20, 30 years ago, I was young, and I'm going through the car wash. This was my first time, getting my new car washed, and a roller broke the window on the passenger side. And so when I come out, the attendant, was this really big Indian guy, and he starts yelling at me, and it made me feel very afraid for obvious reasons, And so that feeling seemed to just stay with me all these years later. And I say that because there are things that maybe you have felt growing up, someone put you in a position and you didn't have any control over it. And it has impact on the way you function today, right? And sometimes you just have to push through. I had to, because my car was looking like I got in a fight with some Parmesan cheese. I drive a black car. It was just terrible. Here in Maryland, we have pollen, and so pollen will sprinkle your car, and it just is what it is. And so after going through the car wash, there's a whole team of people that are waiting for your car so that they can now clean the inside and the outside. They can now detail it, the tires and everything, right? And so it is with us that at certain intervals in our journey or on our journey, God has people already set up. They're already waiting for you, right? But you just have to do what God has set out for you to do. You have to do your part. And then it has you looking good, right? You've done. God has, for you a plan and a purpose. He has thoughts towards you that are good and not of evil to get you to an expected end. And I just felt inclined just to share that. I hope that encourages someone today to just keep going despite how you feel. And so all of that feeling has prompted me now to want to go get a cup of coffee. So again, this is Angela, Brown Angel Books and Coaching, and I hope that you have an amazing day. Take care.